guys, it's Kelly. I am back with another process video. This is my second video of this week that I am putting up in honor of National Scrapbook Day, or International Scrapbook Day, I should say. I was busy over the weekend, so for me, I thought it would be fun to participate and continue with a video a day. So I am still hoping that I will be able to fulfill that. And my goal is to have a video up every day through this Saturday. So I am using my Felicity Jane Chloe kit, and I decided to join this kit club for a few months and see how I liked it, and I stopped my Hip Kit club. Now I want to say that I had nothing against Hip Kit. They are a wonderful kit club. It was just me not being able to afford 2 kit subscriptions. So this kit, when I saw that hexagon paper, I just fell in love with it and thought it was so cool. And I went ahead when I got the kit and I cut out the cut aparts, like that right there, the beautiful, that's a 4x6 cut apart. And she also adds a sticker sheet that has printed designs on them as well. So I went ahead and cut those up so that I would be ready to play. Now with this layout, I wanted something a little bit different. I wanted something that maybe was just a bit more whimsical, fun, not too dressy, just, you know, something that's a little bit different than what I would normally do with this photo. And I really liked the colors of the pattern paper, and I thought that this photo would be great with it. I also wanted it to be a fun companion page to the layout that I did for International Scrapbook Day on the Hop. That one was more of a serious or deeper, meaningful journaling, and I wanted to have something that was a little bit light and fun beside it. So here are some of the cut aparts that I'm talking about that I went ahead and cut up before I began the layout. And I'm just going through and looking to see what I liked. And as I was sitting at my desk, I looked over and saw these Maggie Holmes bows hanging. I have a Clip It Up, and it basically is just a round thing that you can circle all of, you know, I hang embellishments, but you can hang other things on it. And I just happened to see those and thought that that would be a perfect addition. So I kind of got stuck on this layout and I walked away, and when I came back I decided that I was going to cut out a couple of the hexagons on that piece of paper where my photo was going to be, and I might use those on the opposite side on a cluster just to bring those hexagons over to that side of the page. And you know, I wasn't 100% loving the way that this layout was coming out, but it was one of those things where I feel like I don't have to absolutely love every layout that I do. There wasn't anything really wrong with it. I did not like it. It just, you know, was a little bit more difficult. So I just decided to keep going on and see what I could come up with. So I found a few more hexagons on the back of that cut apart sheet, and I had already backed it on my photo, but I was trying to save as many of them as I could just because I hate to cut into a new piece of paper for something like that when I can use, you know, a piece that I already have and that you won't see where I've cut off. This hexagon sheet is one of my favorites. It's so pretty, and I'm not sure if you can see the detail of the paper, but the hexagons almost look like they're watercolored because the edges aren't really crisp, and you can see some white maybe distressing around the hexagons, and I just loved that. And as I was looking at it, I decided that that white space hexagon up top I was going to stamp an image in, just because I thought that would be, you know, another neat whimsical thing. I was trying to do things with this layout that I normally don't do, or just it would be something a little bit different. And I think for me, when I'm doing something a bit different, that it's probably better for me to follow a sketch or be inspired by someone else's layout. This is something that I was just doing on my own, and sometimes I just feel like if it's a little bit different. Like I can't figure out where to go next. And when I get stuck, I mean, I do just either walk away from it or I just continue going on. But for me, this is like the growth layout that I do, where I like it, I don't love it, but I, soldiered on through it. And I think in the end, you learn something about either what works or what didn't work or what you like. So that's another thing that I, try to encourage people, when I hear them talking about how they are not liking a layout or, they're not loving the layout. So at this point, I decided I want to go ahead and get things stuck down. This white with the black floral is another sheet that was on her sticker sheet that I cut out. And I think it's like a washi tape, basically. So for that cluster up top, I decided to make that on the vertical as well. That's definitely something different than I normally do. And, sometimes it's just those little things that you can end up loving the way that it comes out when you do so. That flare was from another kit, I believe. I place all of my Felicity Jane items into an iris container because a lot of her papers just work well with one another. And I had bought a couple of kits before I decided to subscribe to this kit club for a while. So I just stuck everything that I had from her into an iris container. Now I will give this public service announcement. If you do have her kits and you're trying to use a die on the cut apart sheet on the stickers, don't use washi tape over top of the image. It will take the ink off. So I learned that the hard way and was a little bit bummed, but fortunately I had bought the add-on paper, and if you buy the add-on paper with the kit, you will get another set of the stickers. So I just cut the second one out, and when I taped the die, I made sure that the tape was not touching any part of the sticker. So I'm trying to be good and clean up as I go along. So that's why you see me, trying to clean up. My desk was a disaster, and so I'm going to really make a conscious effort to clean as I go or clean right after each layout, because it took me way too long to clean off things and put things away. It was embarrassing. And I have to laugh. Some people will be like, oh, I can't, make a page and all that mess. How do you do it? You know what? It doesn't bother me one bit. And that's probably the bad part, is that if it really bothered me, it would be easier to clean up every time. But once I find I'm in the creative process, I can just keep going and going and going. And it's only when I step and walk away that I'm like, oh my gracious, I have got to clean up. So I went ahead and I pulled out those little puffy heart stickers that were a part of this kit. They are one of my favorite things. I fell in love with those. Oh, they're so cute. Now, I've tried these Maggie Holmes Bloom clear stickers. This is the point where I was trying to figure out, do I want a title or do I just want a few of the stamped sayings and images? It's really not going to have any journaling. Like I said, I just wanted it to be a fun layout, just to do. I find that when I do some of the heavier stories, I have to have some lighter things just to balance it out. So I end up deciding not to use any of the stickers, and in the end, what I do is just use some stamping for the couple sayings that I had wanted. I knew that I wanted to use one of the stamps that says, "You are my favorite," and I wanted to do that just because they know it's a joke. I'll say that, to them individually, but they both know that it's not true, that I love them, even when they're being not so good teenagers. So end up adding a doily. I could not figure out what I felt like was missing, and once I added the doily, it really helped. And to those who've been on my channel for a while, you were probably thinking, what happened and why had I not added it before? you know, again, it was just trying to do something a little bit different. And I just found that it definitely needed the doily to make me happier with the way that it had come out. So here I am deciding to stamp that stamp. I was trying to think if I wanted it on the label or behind, or to the side of it or below the picture, and I decided to do it right below the label. And I went through my stamps and found this love stamp, and it's so cute and whimsical with the little polka dots in it, and that I wanted to, it was the perfect size for that hexagon, so I decided to do that. And I just, you know, put it on white paper first and cut it out just to make sure that I would like it and that the size would be correct. And I decided that I wanted to place a few more of those puffy hearts and circles around that cluster, and then that was just going to complete the page. That, you know, not all titles or not all pages have to have these big titles or creative titles, and I think that was what I was just trying to wrestle with to figure out if I wanted it or not. But so the last thing that I do is I take this new mist that I found at Tuesday Morning, and it is by Tattered Angels. It's a glimmer mist, and the color is Sunlight, and it is a beautiful light yellow gold, and it just adds some really pretty shimmer to the page, but it's, you know, it's very light, and just love the way that it came out. So that's it for me today. I will have another layout up on my channel tomorrow. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you then. Bye.